Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them, he'll be like a wise man. And this wise man built his house on a rock. And the rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them, well, he'll be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So there's a whole sermon. He finishes up this sermon with this statement, this concluding statement to his sermon about a wise man and a foolish man. A wise man builds his house on the rock, a foolish man builds his house on the sand. And to get the context for the whole book, you got to go back 7 chapters, and it's so interesting. What he's doing is he's making a comparison, and he's writing his book, and he's comparing it to Exodus. So when Jesus is telling this story, he's walking through this sermon, and he ends the sermon by telling this story about this wise man and this foolish man. Jesus says, why would you build a house on the sand? So he's comparing the wise and the foolish. Well, when Moses speaks, he speaks of the wise and the foolish. And they both are speaking to the wise man and the foolish man in relation to a rock and the storm coming that's bringing a flood. Verse 1, he says, give ear, listen, O heavens, and I will speak, for I will proclaim the name of the Lord. Ascribe greatness to our God, the rock. The rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are justice. A God of faithfulness and without iniquity, just and upright is he. Do you thus repay the Lord? For they are a nation void of counsel, and there is no understanding in them. Well, who is he talking about? Foolish. He's talking about the foolish man. If they were wise, so you got the comparison between the foolish and the wise. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would discern their latter end. How could one have chased 1,000 and 2 have put 10,000 to flight unless their rock, the rock, had sold them and the Lord had given them up? For their rock is not like our rock. Our enemies are by themselves. And so he's making the comparison of a foolish man and a wise man, and he's making a comparison about this rock. So he's taken a lot of what Moses had said and taught, and he's building a story out of it.